Hello, Harvest Valley families. It's Mr. Todd, and I have some exciting updates and news for you. This video is primarily to ensure that you're invited and aware of our open house, which is taking place tomorrow on March 24th on Thursday. So we'll jump into this. Thank you for keeping up to date on all of our school activities. And I want to pledge to you to do more videos like this with updates. I think it really helps families out there. So open house in person tomorrow on our campus here, Thursday, March 24th. You can stop by anytime between 5:30 and 6:30 p.m. It does go until 6:45, but if you get here after 6:30, you only have a few minutes. So try to get here by 6:30 at the latest. But there's no central meeting. You just come on campus, walk around, visit your child's classroom. Our PE teacher will also be available, and so there'll be a sign up for him. The purpose of open house, it's been a long time. I've actually never experienced open house here at Harvest Valley as the principal because our school closed down on Friday the 13th in March of 2020. So we did not have an open house. And then last year we had no on-campus activities. So this is my first open house here at Harvest Valley, and I'm excited. So the purpose is to allow you to come on campus, say hello to your child's teacher, visit the classroom, and the main thing is to allow your children to show you what they're learning and where and how they learn. Once again, stop by anytime between 5:30 and 6:30. I know a lot of you work like a lot of us do, and so you may not be able to get here until 6:30. That's okay. We usually have food vendors and other things going on, but we just are reopening to the public and we don't have any food vendors this year, but we do plan on having all of our full events in full capacity next year. So please stop by for all or some of the evening. We're excited to have you back on campus. Our school year, so I'm just going to do a little review now. Our school year theme continues to be Harvest Valley Hawks, soaring high no matter what. That's our motto. We love our student designed images. I just want to remind you as you come on campus again that our mission is to empower our students and their families, and that means you. Our vision here at Harvest Valley is to develop the whole child, deliver high quality, individualized instruction, and prepare each and every child for a path into college and career. And so tomorrow, as you visit classrooms, we hope that you'll look for signs of us working towards this vision. Safety updates. Masks, as you know, are now optional. COVID testing is available. And what happens if your child feels sick? Well, as usual, they'll be isolated in the health office, the wellness room, temperature check, and then we'll call you and get information from you and do a COVID test. If someone gets COVID at our school, we're now in a group contact tracing protocol. That means a letter would go home to the whole class, including the teacher, explaining that someone tested positive. And then your child can continue to come to school as long as they're feeling well, there's no symptoms, and we encourage everyone to get tested in the class and to please stay home if you feel sick. Please don't send your child to school sick. You don't always know. And so if your child does come to school and then starts to feel sick or we see that, we'll respond here at the school. So what happens to Harvest Hawks when they leave us? Well, they go on to middle school, high school, and then college and or career. And so I just wanted to remind you about Haley and Alexis, who came back last year to take their photograph in front of our school because they're Harvest Valley graduates, maybe Harvard graduates in the future. But I just want to remind you what our goal is. Our goal is not just to get your kid through one school year, it's to prepare them for the next school year and beyond. So thank you, Harvest Valley families and staff, for making us do this. And Haley and Alexis are products of our school. Communication continues to be vital. Please make sure you have access to Aries and you've created an account. You can check progress from report cards there. But more importantly, when it comes to your child's progress, you can have an ongoing dialogue and relationship with your child's teacher. We also use Parent Square for communication, text messages, emails. So Aries is absolutely necessary. It's mandatory. Class Dojo we use here at Harvest Valley. I know our teachers send messages home. We do a lot of updating on our homepage, so make sure you've downloaded the app. You can adjust your notification settings so that you just get one batch of notifications per day from the school. I know the messaging can be a lot sometimes. We also use, as I mentioned, email, phone, text. We're getting a new digital marquee in front of our school, which will make it a lot easier to put up dates. And then, of course, we have Google Meet meetings, and then good old-fashioned in-person meetings. Please request an in-person meeting with your child's teacher if you have ongoing concerns. And remember, your child's teacher can request a meeting, or you can request a meeting between your teacher and the administration or the counselor if your challenges go beyond the classroom. So once again, ARIES, we've sent out links here. It's on the district and school website. If you need help with this, please stop by the office or give us a call, and we will support you in getting on ARIES. And now I want to really not so much introduce, but reintroduce our staff. As you're coming on campus and getting to know everyone again, well, we want you to remember that we're here for you. So myself, Mr. Todd, principal, Mr. Machado is our assistant principal. Really grateful for having an AP at our school. It makes all the difference in the world when it comes to student support. So we're really grateful to have Mr. Machado. He's now in his second year here at Harvest Valley, and next year will be his third, believe it or not. Our front office staff, we have Mrs. Linda Miley, our office and administrative secretary, Citlali Hernandez, our attendance clerk, Gloria Bowling, our health technician, Monse Pacheco, community outreach, parent and student support. And thank you to our team here. And I hope that you get to know them, and they're always here to work for you. Harvest Valley Library Technician, our librarian, Christina Haddock. And she does all the library. She's done a lot of the activities in the past, and she's our Million Word Challenge coordinator. Really thankful for Christina Haddock. Counseling at HVES, Mrs. Carroll provides help to students for a variety of different reasons and ways. Really thankful for her. And then Mrs. Sherry Perry is our site instructional coach for some reason. Oh, there we go. And she supports our teachers. She helps with data collection around students, classroom observations, assessment development, and much, much more. We're really grateful to have Mrs. Perry on board. This is her first year at Harvest Valley. And then I wanted to remind you that we are a RAMP school. We are a recognized ASCA model school. So this means that our counseling program, we've shown proof and results for how we support students. Social emotional learning, a big response to the pandemic. Thank you, Mrs. Carroll, for all that hard work. Also, we have the OLWEUS bullying prevention program. Doesn't mean that we don't ever have bullying at our school, unfortunately. As much as we try, negative behaviors do occur, like they do at any school, but we continue to focus on prevention and appropriate reaction to that. And then I'm not going to go through all these slides because we're going to introduce the rest of our staff, but I do want you to know that our teachers support our counseling program by holding class meetings on a regular basis. Our bullying prevention rules are clearly posted, and our class meetings continue to happen regularly to really make our school as safe emotionally and physically as possible. So I'm going to skip by a few of these slides. I do want to let you know that I want to give a little update on our school discipline. I'm sorry that the font's a little bit strange here, but we have our ongoing supports in place, our prevention's in place. No school has zero issues. As I mentioned, we're always working on prevention and appropriate reactions, including investigation, listening to both sides of any challenge. But remember, spring fever is in effect. Winter has ended, spring is here. We always see at each school a slight increase in negative student behavior. Suspensions and expulsions are always a possibility. And already this year we've had to suspend, but we try to avoid it. And I always want you to know, as the principal of the school, that as an administrative team, you can always get a hold of us if you don't think a situation is being handled appropriately. So that's our school behavior and discipline update. Thank you for doing your part at home with the students. We appreciate it. And then I did want to just follow up with one more piece of information. If your child tells you that she is being bullied or harassed and no one is doing anything about it, unquote, it's likely means that the child has not told the right people. When the child tells our noon duties, the teachers, they let us know. Now, if you ever have an issue where you feel like your child has told people and it's not being handled, that's when you need to make sure you're contacting the teacher or the office directly. And then, of course, contact me or Mr. Machado if it's an urgent concern that you do not feel has been addressed fully. We're doing great overall. We want to keep it up, but I want to be very direct that we're here to support you, and I never want anyone to feel that way. Okay, let's move on to our teaching staff now. We have a new PE teacher this year, Mr. Guardado. He will be on campus at our open house. You'll want to head over here. He's the portable on the far end closest to the fields where you see kids doing PE. So we're excited to have Mr. Guardado stop by, say hello, check out what he's doing over there. We have some photographs of our teachers, all the hard work they've been doing this year. And then moving on to our kindergarten, we have in TK, Mrs. Schaefer, and the rest of our teachers, Ms. Fratsky, Mrs. French, Mrs. Castro, and now Mrs. Moran is in there for the remainder of the year because Mrs. Castro is preparing to have her first baby. Congratulations to her. Mrs. Lazardi and Mrs. Watson. That's our great TK Kinder team. First grade team, we have Mrs. Cassins, Miss Naranjo, Mrs. Alexander, Mrs. Mitchell, and Mrs. Encinas, who this year is the grade level lead. Fantastic first grade team. Second grade team, this year our lead is Mrs. Reyes with Mr. McDonald, Mrs. Alonzo, Mrs. Guzman, and Ms. Langston. Moving on to third grade. This year, leading our third grade team is Mrs. Maurer, and we have Mrs. Wong, Mrs. Cervantes, Mrs. Porter, and Mrs. Arntz. Fourth grade team this year is led by Ms. Cornejo with Ms. Crisman Noguera, Ms. Lane, Ms. Nagayona, and Ms. Johnston. And finally, our fifth grade team, led this year by Mr. Greenberg, along with Ms. Gomez, Mr. Cook, and Mrs. Irvin. We have our special education team. What a great team. We have Ms. Cook, who supports our lower grade students, Ms. Burnich, who supports upper grade, along with Ms. Wells and Mrs. Munoz. It says we miss you because this was during, this photograph was taken during the virtual learning. So now we're back on campus. We do miss our parents though, so we're excited to see you tomorrow. And then that's our Harvest Valley staff for the 2021-22 school year. And I got to tell you, we have a great staff and we're only getting better each day. So thank you for your support. Remember, what makes Harvest Valley different? Our academic program, our personalized learning, AVID, our activities. They've been limited, but that's changing now. Our clubs, counseling program, the fact that we're a community school, we really have a strong sense of community and much, much more. So thank you for making Harvest Valley special and different by being part of our school. AVID Elementary, remember, we're now in our, I believe, 7th year of implementation. You'll see lots of signs of AVID in classrooms, including organization tools like binders, folders, calendars, agendas, 3-column note-taking for students, as well as 3-column notes posted on the walls. And then Costa's levels of thinking is a way for us to remember to take our students into the deeper critical thinking skills, not just being superficial. So AVID is great. Very proud of that we're an AVID elementary school. And with all the professional learning coming back, our teachers are really growing fast in that. And there's some examples of AVID. This is over in Mrs. Alexander's classroom. And now I want to do a quick update on the state of our school. I want to look first at our iReady reading diagnostic trends. Our goal is by the end of the year, we have 50% of students at or above grade level. We started off the year with 10% of students being at or above grade level. We've more than doubled that. And it looks like, to get to 50% is going to be a big growth. If we look back, last year in the purple was a bit of an anomaly. Students were taking iReady at home. The scores, as you can see, were that first diagnostic was much higher than a typical year. So if we go back to 2019-20, before the pandemic struck, we see that students had 16% of students scored at or above grade level versus 10. That's a 6-point difference. And then on diagnostic 2, 34% versus 24 this year, which is a 10-point difference. So you can really see how the pandemic has created a bit of a learning gap. And this is true at every school. I've looked at the data across all of our district, and every school has experienced a similar decline. So you can see the need to really focus on reading at school, and we really need to make sure our students are also spending some time reading at home. Our iReady reading lessons passing rate is quite high with the average student. 84% of students are passing, or 84% is the average passing rate, I should say, across the school. Mathematics, we see back in 1920, 8% of students scored at or above grade level on the first diagnostic versus 5 this year. And then we come over to diagnostic 2 and we see 28 down to 16. So math is actually one of our biggest challenges. Our goal by the end of the year is 45% of students reading at or doing math at or above grade level in terms of iReady diagnostic. So you can now look at your own child's score on the diagnostic to get an idea of how they're doing against the average student at the school. Our iReady math lesson passing rate's even higher than reading, it's at 92%. So our students are really doing well. They're having more trouble on the final assessments than they are on the lessons. Here's our attendance rate. So we can see that in previous years, we sat around 96, 90, high 95%. This year, we're at averaging around 90%, 91. So we have a significant decline. We know that's from COVID, but with COVID cases being very low right now, we should see the number rise back up. And it's going to be really difficult for some families. Next year, the law is going to go back to its original place. And when a student's missing too much school, it can spell big trouble for parents. So we want to help everyone avoid those challenges. In fact, if we look at our chronically absent, remember, chronically absent means the child's missed 10% or more of the school year. So right now, if your child's missed more than approximately 10, 12 days in the school year, they could be determined to be chronically absent. Normally, we had at the end of 2018-19 about 107 kids being chronically absent. In 1920, we had about 126. In February, we're at 264, at least in November, the last time the data we have showing here. And so too many kids are missing too many days of school. So unless your child's truly sick, they should be at school every day. Our goal is to have 100 or fewer students that fall into this category. So attendance, starting in TK and kindergarten, too many absences cause children to begin to fall behind. Missing 10% of the school year, or about 18 days by the end of the year, makes it much harder for students to learn to read. Students can still fall behind if they miss just a day or two every few weeks. Being late to school may also lead to poor attendance and academic problems. So absences don't just affect your child negatively, they affect the whole classroom and the whole school. Slows our teachers down. It's vital that our kids are at school on time every day, unless there's some exception. So the thing I ask myself as a parent is, have my kids missed too many days by this point in the school year? My kids get sick every once in a while. There might even be something else that requires them to miss school. But I always check to make sure they're not missing more than 10% of the school year. And I highly suggest you do the same thing, because it's not right for kids to be missing school. And remember, we have a virtual program and a homeschool program. So if your child's missing more than 10% of the school year, you may be encouraged to consider other options besides in-person learning. What can you do? Regular bedtimes and morning routines so your kids are ready. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that children ages 3 through 10 get 10 to 12 hours of sleep at night. Even kids who are older, 5th grade, 8th grade, still need about 10 hours of sleep a night. Please make your medical appointments when school's not in session whenever possible. I know that can be difficult. Send your children to school every day unless they're truly sick. Develop backup plans like a carpool or a friend in case you can't drive your child to school. And of course, avoid taking vacation when school's in session. Our enrollment numbers, the last time we looked at numbers, we were sitting around 695. So we have about 700 kids at Harvest Valley. And with all these new homes being built, that number is going to go up very quickly in the next couple of years. So we're preparing for that. Thank you for those of you that made it this far. We hope to see you tomorrow. Let's soar high together no matter what. We are truly here to support your child, to support you. And by attending tomorrow night, you really show how much you care. Thank you very much. We're here to support you, and thank you for your support. And we'll see you tomorrow at Open House. Thanks.